when the unselect fascistic committees, this is what they did in communist Russia, you would have Politburo committees. Stalin's man, who was in charge of the KGB, had a famous line. He said, "Show me the man, I'll show you the crime." Okay? This is how it worked. In Soviet Russia, they would create crimes in order to just put away whoever they wanted to put away. There's entire gulag systems called the Gulag Archipelago, and you would go into your internment camp if they just wanted to get rid of you. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime. That is what the January 6th Select Committee is. They are simply a shoot, fire, aim committee. All right? They're trying to gather and take as much information as they can and then leak anything that they think is embarrassing to Republicans or to people that they don't want to be in office. Liz Cheney is subpoenaing someone who is running a political action committee against her in Wyoming right now. Well, why do you think that is? This is an egregious and utter fascistic abuse of power, and Kevin McCarthy was subpoenaed yesterday by this committee. They said, give us all your texts and all your emails and all your information with Donald Trump. And Kevin McCarthy said, why don't you go and take the gavel in your committee, turn it sideways, and shove it directly up your ass.
Also breaking tonight, the House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, this just broke moments ago. He has now officially rejected demands from the January 6th committee to appear for questioning and will not participate in the ongoing political sham. He says it is an illegitimate committee. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Joe Biden will make another appearance on Capitol Hill, begging his fellow Democrats to use his special Biden charm and his quick-witted intellect to convince moderate senators to nuke the filibuster.
Kevin McCarthy says screw you to Nancy Pelosi's unconstitutional fascistic committee. Ted Cruz getting feisty with reporters, getting savage mode with the corporate press. Listen.
Use of power.
And then quickly, senators, this is all really about the divide in our country right now and how you handle it. Our country is also divided over how to handle the coronavirus. And it's sort of a glaring visual that many of the reporters here have masks. You all don't have masks. I know it's a personal choice. I'm just interested in why you all decided to appear together without masks. And we do know that COVID is going around here in Capitol Hill, and we know that for sure. So I'm just interested in your decision there.
Well, listen, I think there's been wild hypocrisy from the Biden administration when it comes to COVID policies, whether mask mandates, where Joe Biden rightly said we shouldn't have mandates, whether vaccine mandates, where Joe Biden said we shouldn't have vaccine mandates. As far as I know, everyone here has been vaccinated, been double vaccinated, been boosted. And at some point, look, I do know Dr. Fauci's been all over the map on it. He said, yes, mask, no mask. He said, oh, I lied to the American people because they couldn't handle it. You know, at some point, the American people ought to be able to exercise their own freedom and make their decision. If you want to wear a mask, God bless you. You can wear a mask for the rest of your life. That's your choice. But other people ought to be able to have the right and choice not to wear a mask. And by the way, on the question of hypocrisy, you just asked, you people at the podium are speaking without masks. Just once, I'd like to see a reporter say to Joe Biden when he stands at the damn podium in the White House without a mask, Mr. President, why aren't you wearing a mask? Just once, I'd like to see you say to Jen Psaki, the White House press secretary, when she stands at the podium with no mask, Ms. Psaki, why don't you have a mask? The questions are only directed at one side, and I gotta say, the American people see the hypocrisy.
We are getting sick of a corporate ruling class. The definition of fascism based on the Benito Mussolini definition of fascism, this is a quote from Benito Mussolini, it's when corporations fuse with the power of the state, and then the corporations who control everyone's jobs, currency, economy, and the state which controls a monopoly on power and a monopoly on violence, well, then now you can control a population. The monopoly on violence fuses with the monopoly on corporate power, money, and employment, and then you can control a population. People are getting sick of it. It's why you're having guys like me looking at some of the proposals from like the far left, and the proposals of far left are like, we should ban everyone in Congress from buying and selling stocks individually. Yes, we should absolutely do that. Tucker Carlson had the head of PETA on his show last night. In what universe is that? Like, Tucker Carlson's the most watched right-wing, new right pundit in America. The most watched man in the world. Tucker Carlson has higher ratings than anyone else. Joe Rogan has more listeners. Tucker Carlson has more viewers. Tucker Carlson is sitting there with the head of PETA. PETA is a extremely far-left organization, and they are saying, yeah, Dr. Fauci is a scumbag. Your tax dollars paid for my boy, somebody who I like a lot, Tom Cotton, to go onto the floor and give perhaps the most savage speech I have heard in a very long time. Tom Cotton's from Arkansas. I know Arkansas pretty well. I've been to Little Rock a few times. I like Sarah Sanders. Sarah Sanders is my girl. Sarah Sanders running for governor of Arkansas. Sarah Sanders is going to be the governor of Arkansas. She's going to win by like 100,000 million bajillion. Sarah Sanders is telling me that Tom Cotton, man, has a really bright future. This dude is a war veteran. This dude's a total badass. And he went on the floor and he just wrecked Chuck Schumer in the most classic and most savage troll that this man has ever seen on the Senate floor. Now, I think that Marco Rubio's speech yesterday may be the best speech I've heard on the Senate floor. This is the most savage troll I've ever seen on the Senate floor. You have to watch till the end. This is on the filibuster. Get ready. This is Republicans with a spine. Take it away, Tom Cotton.
Right now, we are on the precipice of a constitutional crisis. We're about to step into the abyss. I want to talk for a few minutes why we're on that precipice and why we're looking into that abyss. Let me first ask a fundamental question. What is the crisis that calls for the undoing of 2 centuries of tradition? Are senators merely doing their jobs as legislators, responding to a generalized public calling for the abolition of the filibuster? Clearly not. It is not the American people at large who are demanding detonation of the nuclear option. The nuclear option is being pushed largely by the radioactive rhetoric of a small band of radicals who hold in their hands the political fortunes of the president. Constitutional scholars will tell us that the reason we have these rules in the Senate, unlimited debate, 2/3 to change the rules, the idea that 60 have to close off debate, is embodied in the spirit and rule of the Constitution. That is what the Constitution is all about, and we all know it. It is the Senate where the Founding Fathers established a repository of checks and balances. It's not like the House of Representatives, where the majority leader or the speaker can snap his fingers and get what he wants. On important issues, the Founding Fathers wanted, and they were correct in my judgment, that the slimmest majority should not always govern. The Senate is not a majoritarian body. The bottom line is very simple. The ideologues in the Senate want to turn the Founding Fathers, what the Founding Fathers called the cooling saucer of democracy, into a rubber stamp of dictatorship. They want to make this country into a banana republic, where if you don't get your way, you change the rules. Are we going to let them? It will be a doomsday for democracy if we do. I, for one, hope and pray that it will not come to this. But I assure my colleagues, at least speaking for this senator, I will do everything I can to prevent the nuclear option from being invoked, not for the sake of myself or my party, but for the sake of this great republic and its traditions. Those are powerful words, but they're not mine. Every word of my speech today was originally spoken by our esteemed colleague, the senior senator from New York, Chuck Schumer. Senator Schumer spoke so eloquently in defense of the Senate's rules, customs, and traditions when the fortunes of his party looked a little different. My, how times have changed. Now it's Senator Schumer's fingers that are hovering over the nuclear button, ready to destroy the Senate for partisan advantage. Think about it. The narrowest majority in Senate history wants to break the Senate rules to control how voters in every state elect senators. Could there be a better argument to preserve the Senate's rules, customs, and traditions? So before it's too late, let us reflect on the wise and eloquent words of Senator Schumer. Words that are as true today as they were when he spoke them, even if Senator Schumer is singing a different tune today. Madam President, I yield the floor.
What the signs of a fascist is I will change the rules, I will burn the system down, I will literally light it on fire, and that's happened, by the way, in many fascist regimes. They'll just light their government buildings on fire in order to get what they want. Democrats are about this close to doing that right now. Now, what do Democrats have in the Senate? They don't have a majority. They have 50-50. 50-50. They need Kamala Harris to come in and give them a majority. Kamala Harris being the leader, speaker of the Senate, right, and in her role ceremonially as vice president. So they don't have a majority. They're trying to do the most radical thing, unconstitutional, by the way, because the 10th Amendment says that every single power that is not given to the federal government in these amendments is then is going to go to the states, right? So the 10th Amendment says that all that power shall be vested in the states, specifically the powers of creating their electors and creating the way that the states send electors in for the presidency. That means the way that states operate as laboratories of democracy, putting forth their own electoral rules, putting forth their own electoral laws and values. That is federalism. It is breathtakingly unconstitutional what Democrats are trying to do right now by putting Nancy Pelosi in charge of all federal elections. That's the goal. The goal is to pass this law. They're calling it the for the whatever voter whatever fraud thing. It should be for voter fraud forever. VFF, voter fraud forever. That's the bill. VFF, voter fraud forever. That's the bill. The name of the bill is VFF as far as this show is concerned. The voter fraud forever bill means that Nancy Pelosi will be able to look into your district, in your election, how you vote in Tampa, Florida, or in Cheyenne, Wyoming, or in Dallas, Texas, and will be able to say, now, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that, you can't do it. Can you imagine something more evil, or something more just plainly on its face fascistic than that? Thank you for watching. We are 100% independent news. Are you sick of being lied to? We certainly are. That's why we started this channel. But we can't do it without you. We can't keep going without your help. All we ask is that you click like and subscribe and share this video. It's free. And it keeps us going, it keeps us growing, and it keeps us getting the truth out there to break the rotted corporate media infrastructure that wants to lie to you every single day, wants to corrupt your narratives, your truth, your story, and your very society. So support us by clicking like, clicking subscribe, and thank you, Patriots.